Hello, comrades, and welcome back to another episode of our glorious attempt at building posadism in the Soviet Union. It's 1986, we've been playing for about a year, and things are going okay. Though in these games, you never know how you're going until it fails. We did have a brief budgetary crisis because we tried to introduce a universal basic income, which in retrospect was kind of obvious. Things are going fine. Our relations with the US are good, and with China, not so good. We might have to deal with that at some point, but let's see what we've got going on right now. The Chernobyl accident. A catastrophe occurred at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Ever heard of it? During an experiment, the reactor went out of control. There was an explosion. So we could make it secret. Urgently eliminate the consequences and begin evacuation. Conspiracy limit is doubled. And we can... Okay, yep. Secretly eliminate the aftermath. Or shut down the NPP and start a campaign against nuclear power. Well, we're not going to do that. We're posadists, which means that we need to nuclearize as much as possible. The effects will reduce with each year. Let's urgently eliminate the consequences. The government made the difficult decision to disclose the fact. It allowed the situation to be brought under control. There were Western media shocking images of the destroyed reactor and spoke of a nuclear apocalypse. And a sarcophagus was erected over the destroyed reactor unit. Okie dokie. Okay. Our radical opposition is quite strong. We've got a bit of... money coming in. So why don't we spend up on salaries, social spending, and import of medicines? Maybe just infrastructure. It does make corruption worse, but all of these economic stimulation will make corruption worse. Still going to be getting plus 15 at the end of the month. Afghan Thaw. We entered Afghanistan. We still cannot leave. We overthrew the Afghan government. There's two factions. The moderates of Parcham, or Parcham, I'm not sure, and the radicals of the Khalq faction. It was the latter who carried out the revolution. The Mujahideen began resisting the government. They asked the USSR to send troops to stabilize, but were refused. And then we deployed a limited contingent. At the end of last episode, the US started sending Stinger missiles in. Okay, so we need to find a suitable candidate for the country's leadership. The current leader, Karmal, is passive and is loyal. Najibullah is the former head of intelligence, willing to negotiate with moderate opposition groups. Or there's Watanja, a Khalqist, who's honest and straightforward and tolerates dissent. A patriot ready to fight for his homeland to the last drop of blood. I like the idea of that. NATO gets mad, China gets mad, Pakistan gets mad. Or contact Gulabzoy. Who's Gulabzoy? Not sure it says here. Oh, right. Sorry, he's the hardline. Radical methods, decisiveness, brutality, and deep ties within the army. let's go for Watanjar. Okie dokie. Let's see what's going on in the Afghan Civil War. Looks like we can't do anything more. We're at 35%. And how's the Iraq-Iran war going? We are winning. We can deploy war specialists. We could compel alliance members to assist, but I don't think we should do that. Okay. A bunch of people like us a lot less. Unclear why that's happened just at this moment. Not a huge amount that we can do. Why can't we send food aid? Liberalization. Alright. Nothing much to be done. And some research finished as well. Oh, these are the accepted ones. Can join the IMF, but we can't actually. Change the prevailing sexual morality, restrict the work of the parliament, reduces its role in decision-making, increasing control, which would basically give us political authority that we don't need. Make concessions to regional politicians. Reduction in income and political authority points, but all of our subject states would like us. Moratorium on the death penalty. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Let's do that. Renovate the housing stock for $50. I don't think we can afford that right now. Declare the construction of communism. Alright. Repeal the law on labor collectives. Make more corruption, but we'd have less labor shortage. Repeal directive wage disproportionality across industry categories. So we'd lose income from light industry. Okay, I think we'll leave that for the moment. We looked at most of these last time. In the army, increase priority to military research institutes. Costs some money. And lose some income. Basically, yeah, well, we have no surplus now. Demobilize students from the army. I don't think I want to do that right now. Reorient the army towards local conflicts. I think I do want to do that. In the party, so we can do some rehabilitation of the right opposition. We can get a strict control of the party line and reassess Stalin's role and legacy. Liquidate the Beryozka store chain, special outlets intended exclusively for foreign tourist party workers, high-ranking officials. Privileges of the bureaucrats will be lowered. I think I'll leave that for the moment. Revoke social privileges. It's kind of similar. The special distribution systems, similar. Judicial privileges. Restore the party maximum. Maximum level of wages and income for members of the Communist Party, proportional to the workers' wages. So these are all basically... I would like to reconsider Trotsky's personality, because we're posadists, and posadism is a type of Trotskyism. So we need conservatives not to be... not conservative Stalinists or social patriots. Okay, I'll just leave that for the moment. Adopt a new food program. Can't do anything in space, and can't do anything in computers. Alright. Just deprioritizing our multi-module orbital station. Actually, let's... Oh, that's confusing. How does this work? Ah, I see. I'm going to put that right at the bottom, even though it would be nice to finish it. Alright, let's keep it going. Jews are everywhere. Despite the fact that the USSR was one of the initiators of the creation of the Jewish state, relations with Israel did not immediately take off in practice. A number of Jewish politicians are leftists. They rejected the socialist course and became ever more pro-American. We began actively cooperating with the Arab War. Emigration from the USSR to Israel, to put it mildly, was not encouraged, and it became the symbol of fascism, an American puppet, and apartheid. Zionism is a form of racism. We began negotiations with Israel to resume relations. We have our own Israel, and even more, let's invest in the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. I like the idea of that. Or intensify anti-Zionist propaganda. Okay, a bunch of loyalty, including conspiracy theorists, increase. That's funny. Yeah, let's invest in the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. I'm not sure what it was actually like in practice in history. I know that, you know, the Soviet Union wasn't great to Jews in a lot of ways, but I like the idea of making a communist Jewish community. Printing in Yiddish and Hebrew has been reactivated. Alrighty. The death of Le Duan. The General Secretary of the Vietnamese Communist Party has passed away. He's a strict conservative based on centralized planned economy and rigid ideological control. But they faced hyperinflation, food shortages, low efficiency, and growing dependence on Soviet aid. So now we can try and select who's going to take over. A moderate who wants to advocate for general introduction of market mechanisms, renovation, faster and more radical reforms, transition to a market economy, a representative of the leftist conservative. I guess let's go with Trong Chin. We could take no action. So one of these two would get put in power. Let's go for Trong Chin. Oh, we can't. Right, because our special services aren't strong enough. Right. Okay, well, take no action it is. And Trong Chin took over. And then Nguyen Van Linh was gaining strength. Okay. So let's see what actually happened in Vietnam. Socialist reformism. Alright. Don't understand what support the network is. I know I said that a few times last session, but Empty shells in region -1. That's good. Okay, so what's New Democracy? Sounds like they're the Social Democrats. Yeah, looks like we can't really influence any of these. Oh, for too long, Vasily Kuznetsov, who is just a member of the Politburo, has been poisoning our great party. Vasily Kuznetsov, that's not us, is it? No. Oh, so we can retire them, send them to a minor position, or refuse and retire the leader of the conspiracy, or just refuse. Okay, I should look at the conspiracies. Sure, I'll send them down. But let's have a look at that. Still no conspiracies against me. I don't know if that one counts as a conspiracy against me. Okay, it seems like it's not. Okay, Yazov, who's a reformer. We can retire him. Oh, okay, and we can promote someone to the Politburo. So I think we want... there's no informal socialists. So why don't we promote a reformer? That seems fine. One who likes us, preferably. Leo Zaykov. Could be Leo Zaykov. He's the only one who likes us, so let's appoint him. Member of the Central Committee Politburo. Seems like that's not just a button that we can press. It's 12 of 13 seats occupied. Maybe we'll get an event about it. Postmodernism, the ideological weapon of decaying capitalism. Okay. Sure. So... Right. Let's just change something. Social Initiatives Club. In recent years, various informal associations have gained particular popularity. Including socially significant issues. They don't position themselves as opposition, they're willing to cooperate with authorities. However, there are many individuals with radical views. Perhaps we should take control of these organizations and channel the living creativity of the masses. So I would like to support the creation, but instead I'll just refuse, I think, rather than suppress them. Dr. Hader. American astrophysicist Charles Hader pitched a tent near the White House to try and get Reagan to end the arms race. So we can launch a media campaign in support or invite him to come and live with us. Both of those seem pretty solid. Or we can just ignore him. Sure. Launch a media campaign and support. It's fine. Reykjavik. Alright, they want a meeting with Reagan and Reykjavik. So we can make concessions on Afghanistan and immigration. Say we're not going anywhere, which makes our conservatives firmer but the intelligentsia less firm. Well, our radical opposition is quite strong. That's a problem. Trying to see if any of these improve our... So... improve our radical opposition. So we're not going anywhere. And we currently have a pretty good economy here, so let's increase our budget. Oh, I see. Infrastructure provides the maximum expenditure for other things. Let's leave it like that for the moment. U.S. Army Reform. Goldswater-Nichols Act. Okay. Which combines the Joint Chiefs of Staff, subordinating operational reports to the President. Okay. Okay, it looks like we're winning here, which is great. How about in Afghanistan? We're still not doing great in Afghanistan. I feel like that should be, you know, a slogan. We're still not doing great in Afghanistan. Spies in the embassy. They're preparing to expel 25 of our diplomats. So we can either expel some of theirs. We can check if they were spies, and if they were, be like, yep, you got us, or be mad. We can protest at the UN. We'll do nothing. Yeah, let's expel them as well. Oh, that was a big hit to our relations with the USA, but that's fine. Recession in certain sectors of the economy if defense industry strength falls below 10. Put another 10 in here and cut some out of medical system, maybe? Great. I don't know how to appoint someone to the Politburo, though. Oh, that's how you do it? Alright, cool. So I want to add Leo Zakov, I think. Add to the Politburo. Great. Oh, conduct training. That's cool. So let's organize by loyalty. I can never remember which color the different ones are. So purple is the conservatives, pink is the moderates. Boris Yeltsin is a fan? Alright, so why don't we Oh, we can't train Yeltsin. We can conduct Zykov. Train Zykov. Alright. A disgraced academician, Elena Bonner, became a participant in the slander against the USSR. The beast in a skirt and protege of imperialism made several trips to the US and then Europe. So we can deprive him of citizenship and deport him, which will make people mad, or we can do nothing. Let's just do nothing, unfortunately. Distant mountainous land. War in Afghanistan's been going on for 10 years. Increase troop presence to achieve victory? Yeah, let's do it. Full-scale military invasion, prompting the US to drastically increase support of the opposition. Okay, and they're mad at us. We have nothing to discuss. Lose the DEFCON, that's fine. Iran-Contra. Certain members of the US administration secretly supplied weapons to Iran. So we can increase support... Oh, in Nicaragua. I mean, the Contras are pretty fucked. Increase support for the Contras. Continue providing aid. Yeah, let's just increase support. We could do carpet bombing. I think that's a good idea. Let's introduce a limited contingent. Oh, and now the US likes us more. That's interesting. Okay, the disaster at the nuclear weapon has improved. Empty shells has improved. Conscription has increased. Okay, so we can oppose the neo-Stalinists, the moderates, or the reformers. I think let's just keep it peaceful still. Okay. The reserve may be depleted in a month. That seems unlikely, but okay, I will decrease some spending somewhere. Labor shortage has gotten worse. Luxembourg is going to an election. Agromerc affair. Tito. Socialist Yugoslavia. Self-managed socialism. High growth rates. The oil crisis undermined the economy. Several political power centers exist. Serbian nationalists. Old Yugoslavians, new Yugoslavians, military Yugoslavians. The Agromerc enterprise is headquartered in Velika Kadluša in Bosnia and Herzegovina. A private enterprise for local party boss. It grew from a small dairy plant to a giant conglomerate worth $183 million. What should we do to avoid losing our diplomatic footing given that they are corrupt? So we can invest for some money, provide a loan to refinance, or ignore it, or try to hint to the Yugoslav leadership that the enterprise needs to be shut down. Let's do that one. It's the second outcome. That's the bad one. All right. The Sokolovskas case. 8 military personnel were guarding the prisoners, and there was 1 civilian. No one exited. 8 bodies were found inside. 1 of the guards was missing, as were 5 pistols and 5 spare magazines. The guard was detained, but the guard's pistols found with him. He killed his comrades because they forced me to kill them. His comrades had repeatedly humiliated him, and he couldn't take it anymore. Reduce the length of conscription. Sure, seems good. Strengthen the criminal prosecution of hazing. Sure, seems good. Criticize the army leadership or declare him mentally ill for compulsory treatment, quote unquote. Let's go strengthen criminal prosecution. I should look at some of these doctrines, though. Not really sure what I'm looking for here, but friendly protectionism. Right, it's going to cost money, makes sense. Tax. We've currently got a progressive tax scale. Moderate taxes with a flat scale. Negative income tax. Would increase how everyone's doing. Or economic type, we can't change any of these because we don't have the money. Alright. Trade unions. Go to mutually assured destruction. Or active defense for more ICBMs, alright. Here's the conscription. 2-year general draft. Would increase our labor shortage. Maybe I should have taken the change there from that event. Just because we could have done it for free. We are short on money, so I think I'll leave it for the moment. The Special Archive. Restricted access sessions for ideologically undesirable books and newspapers. We can't eliminate it currently. I think we can revise it though, that's fine. And now they want Demyachev removed from, ooh, the second secretary. That's alarming. But we can start a media campaign against his opposition. That sounds good, let's do that. You'll regret this decision. Empty and far-fetched criticism of me will not save your criminal gang from inevitable collapse. It's probably true. Just gonna have a look at conspiracy. Still none against me. That's fine and good. We are quite short on money here. Increased presence in Turkey from Washington. Okay. Okay, we're 50-50 in Afghanistan. That's better than it was. And here in Iraq, we're supporting Iran and we're doing well. Treaty of Assistance. Regular resource supplies. Sure, let's do humanitarian aid as well. We do stuff on the other side? No, it's the same thing. Oh, we haven't assigned an advisor. I don't really know who any of these guys are, so Let's go the guy in this military outfit. Oh, conspiracy brewing amongst generals. Let's bribe them a little. And have a look at conspiracies against me. Still none. Really love it if that crop would work. Defense industry strength indicator. Where is that? I'm not sure if it actually is up here. No, I can't. I am losing money quickly. Financial crisis. Turn on the printing press. Luxury goods are also not doing well. I can't see where the luxury availability indicator is, which is a problem. Milosevic versus Stambolic. Serbia and Yugoslavia and Kosovo within Serbia. Call on the Serbian authorities to resolve the Kosovo issue peacefully. Sounds good. Call on both sides to compromise. Yeah, let's do that one. The Rust Flight. An amateur pilot from West Germany crossed the USSR border and set for Moscow. Signed autographs for everyone and was soon arrested. The Air Defense Forces tracked his plane all the way to Moscow but didn't intercept it because after the incident with the South Korean airliner in '83, they were ordered not to shoot down civilian aircraft. Announced that he flew freely under our orders. I mean, that does sound good. Yeah, that was our idea. That was our idea. Listen to the BBC at night. So we can either jam the BBC, update our radio stations, and continue jamming. That sounds good. We are short on money, but we're not that short on money that we can't stop people listening to the Beeb. German unification. I think that means that we would be giving away East Germany. Okay, network-centric operations is done. Military mutiny. The generals are dissatisfied with me. So we can change the army doctrine to mutually assured destruction. Or we can bring out the loyal population. Let's try that. Great, and it worked. That's lovely. What did we just get? Network-centric operations. Network-centric operations. Adopt the theory of your network-centric army. So it'll be army. Monetary reserve -5. Combat ready, army loyalty. Okay, I'm just going to leave that for the moment. Group of politicians want to exile Yakolev. Yep, sounds great. Doesn't seem like he's with us. The most important of the arts. Cinema is the most important for us. Domestic cinematography began to lose its positions. Western countries in the US outpaced us. Let's expand the production of domestic films. Sounds great. The radical opposition is real low right now, which is great. We are making money, albeit a small amount. Lukyanov is a reformer. Could send him as an ambassador to a remote country. Who's this guy? He's a conservative? Sure. Nature transformation. Interesting. Launch vehicles. Oh, Intel on American scientific achievements. Interesting. Don't really know how it works in terms of distributing these points. Wide PC availability would be good, but I just kind of want to get these ones done. So maybe on that note, I will increase civilian tech. Alcoholism has increased. African Che Guevara in Burkina Faso with Sankara. If we warn Sankara and send aid, we may gain a loyal ally. Ah, I would like to, but we don't have enough special services points. It's a shame. Criticism of the party line. Yeltsin sent me a letter complaining about the obstacles in his activities. So I could send him to an ambassador somewhere else. We could accelerate reforms. Okay, so we can either... Or we can ask at the plenum what people think. I think we should accelerate the reforms a little. I kind of don't want to admit to it. Nah, let's send him as an ambassador somewhere to Djibouti. Great. Okay, so we need a Minister of Industry. So let's organize by loyalty. We want someone with high thrift. Maybe Romanov? Was this chairman of the State Security Committee? I don't know why they're not there. Huh, okay. I'm just gonna leave that. Black Monday. The Dow Jones plunged 22%. Okie dokie. Don't know what that does for us. A turning point. An ineffective and undemocratic way of appointing party-state positions. Okay, well, we only have one option, so we'll just pick the one option that we have. Ward number 6. After the fall of the barrier group, our security service began to abandon harsh repressive methods. In the practice of treatment of mentally ill individuals in psychiatric hospitals became widespread. The use of psychiatry for political purposes led to our country being forced to leave the World Psychiatric Association. Yeah, let's cancel involuntary treatment and rehabilitate the victims, I think. But also, let's have a look at the conspiracies. Okay, still no one. That's good. Intifada in Israeli-occupied Palestine. Okay, Hamas strength +2. We could do carpet bombing. Yeah, look, I want to win and get out of here. Just a quick little war in the Middle East and get out of here. Let's just keep the plenum peaceful. Political crisis in South Korea. Okay. Let's sanction him, I reckon. Just for fun. Help with nuclear power plant production. Hell yeah. Can't see anything going wrong there. Oh, the cat has come to stand on the keyboard. Thank you, cat. That's very helpful. Syrian Arab Republic invite to Comic-Con. Yep. Let's sanction Israel. Why not? Lebanon. Let's invite Libya to Comic-Con. Expand ideological outreach in Tunisia. Sure. Let's do all three. And in Sudan, arrange a trade agreement. Absolutely. I don't think I can afford to do that currently. Trade agreement in Ethiopia, thank you. It still does cost our monetary reserve, but it increases our income. Okay, the Chernobyl incident's getting better, but conscription's getting worse. Fine. Keep printing money. Second baptism of Rus. Okay, the Russian Orthodox Church has come under the full control of authorities. National holiday improves our relationships with all of the other Soviet republics. Well, no, about half of them, okay. Holiday remains a purely church event. We do not celebrate, or an anti-religious campaign in the press. I think let's just leave it a church event. That's fine. It's nothing to do with us. Turn to the east. The communists won the civil war in China in 1949. China moved close to the US and invaded Vietnam. tried to normalize relations with China, but they presented several preconditions. Withdrawal of Vietnamese troops in Kampuchea, Soviet troops in Afghanistan, and all armed forces from Mongolia. So we have pretty bad relations with China right now, so I don't think the full restoration is going to work. So let's go the expanding economic cooperation, which did not work. Okay. Interesting. That's a problem. We can give them a long-term loan for $50. Send an army and give them battle if they cross the river. Let's do that one. It's unfortunate, but does that mean we can do other stuff now? It does not. Yeah, so I'd really like to just win this war real quick, if that's okay. I don't think I've got anything else I can do there, though. Here, can compel our alliance members to assist. I think we should. I think, again, we just need to finish these wars. Yeah, why can't we do stuff in France? But anyway, it's fine. A collision occurred in the Black Sea between two American and two domestic ships, the American cruiser Yorktown and destroyer Charon. I mean, I kind of want to just attack. Could demand an apology, or we could apologize. No, let's attack them. We said if they didn't change course, we would open fire, and we fired upon them, and then they left. Okay. Sure, we'll lose the DEFCON, that's fine. Sumgait is a city north of Baku in Azerbaijan. Local extremists started spreading anti-Armenian sentiments. Mass rallies, death to Armenians, and there are mobs. Bring in the army, crush the riots with force? That sounds about right. Mass arrests. Alright. Can't compromise my principles. The newspaper published a letter to the editor from the alleged betrayer of chemistry, Nina Andreeva, to defend the honor and dignity of the pioneers of socialism. Positive assessment of Stalin. Okay. So we can support the basic idea. We can start a pro-Stalin campaign. Manifesto of anti-perestroika forces. Or do nothing. I think we can support the general thesis. That's fine. Visit to Yugoslavia. The Cominform, the coordinating body of European communist parties, criticized the Yugoslav leadership, calling it revisionist and even fascist. The thaw began after Stalin's death. Yugoslavia condemned our intervention in Czechoslovakia. Now we face common challenges. And maybe I'll personally go visit and propose a reform package. Great, let's do that. First outcome. So we get... They'll join the Comecon, we get better relations, and the USA gets kind of messed up. Great. Where's Yugoslavia? I should know which one Yugoslavia is. There we go. Why aren't they in our sphere of influence? Okay. Civil war in Ethiopia. Don't think we can really do much in Ethiopia. Yep. Labor shortage is increased. Everyone's bouncing around between loyalty and unloyalty. Okay, we're doing better in Iran. Doing better in Afghanistan. Still nothing we can add to here. Looks like not. Finances are just about balanced. Civil war in Somalia. Again, not going to interfere here. Protests in Slovenia. Inspired by the move away from Yugoslav federalism. So we can support the fight against separatism. Offer mediation. Propose a compromise with the protesters or take no action. I reckon let's go with the fight against separatism. Memoirs of the uncle of Nicholas Romanov. The memoirs end with his admission of sympathy for the Bolsheviks, despite they executed 3 of his brothers. Release the book? Okay. I mean, it's kind of good. It does cost us some money, but otherwise it's basically good. Release it to the public? Or just do nothing? Yeah, sure, let's spend the money. I do really want to spend more money, but I just don't think I can afford it. I could take out more loans from the US. Oh, whoa, why are we minus 41? Oh, that's what we just spent. Alright, it's fine. Removal of this reformist. Sure. But we need a chairman of the Council of Ministers. This guy is a neo-Stalinist. That's funny. Zykov? You're the chairman of... Oh no, he doesn't have enough influence. Okay. How about a Lib Dem? None of them like me. Don't want National Democrats. So let's go a moderate. Wait, what are we appointing them to? This one, which needs intrigue and thrift. Piotr Lomarko it is. Okay, rank by influence less than 16. Okay. In that case, how about this guy? Will that work? No. Okay, how about Kunaev then? Alright. Okay, now they want to exile Rizkov. Sure. Oh, the government's inability to curb the financial crisis led to catastrophic consequences for the state. Subjects of USSR began to create their own monetary systems, undermining the foundations of a once unified economic space. Separatism and radical nationalism raised its head in almost all parts of the country. The new Republican leaderships took a course in independence. With this background, the top generals and special services colluded and carried out a coup d'etat, declaring a state of emergency and austerity to save the countries. You were removed from power, and soon forgotten by all. There you go. Interesting. It's a fun game. It's a hard game. I don't know if it sort of came across as hard as it really is. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to know how anything that you're doing is influencing anything else. But there's a strong sense that it is, you know? It's very cool. I might do another run of this sometime soon, but until then, thank you so much for watching, and, Posadism will win in the end. Bye.